Welcome to this new Addon Spotlight. Christmas came early this year because there's a new helicopter available for Flight Simulator 2020, the Sikorsky H34. It's still in development, so it's now version 0.4. There's still some, I would say, things which need to be fixed, but that doesn't matter, right? Because we at least can try a new helicopter. There are a few things you need to be aware of the helicopter. It comes as one file, but inside that file there are two things which you need to move to the community folder. Let me show it to you while speaking. So here's the profiles folder, which you all know from Airland FS. If you don't know Airland FS, you can also download it from Flight Sim.2, and what you need to do is you need to move the Airland FS _H34 file, which is in the zip which you download. You need to place it in this folder, which makes it, I would say, suitable to control this aircraft. The other thing which you need to do is, of course, you need to move this helicopter inside the community folder. Say most of us are probably aware of this, right? But if you're not aware of it, the community folder contains all the custom add-ons which all the great developers around the world are creating for Flight Simulator. Once you place it in this folder, then you can go to Flight Simulator and, of course, try out this nice helicopter, because it's really nice. So this is from the outside, right? So if we look at it, you can see all the details, the lightning, I would say the cable to rescue people, the rotors, and then of course we've got some pilots sitting in front of the aircraft. You can also see the details here, right? All the I would say warnings, etc. are here. The light's clear, the grill's correct. If we move around, then we can see the other details, including rotor. And if we look from the top, it looks amazing, right? So it looks really realistic. So now we've looked at this part of the aircraft, or of the helicopter I should say. Let's look at the inside, because they also spend time on the inside, right? There's a nice person here trying to, let's say, ready to start rescuing someone, and oh, wrong button. And then we've got, of course, the seats which are here. If we go a little bit further, then we will end up in the cockpit, and the cockpit contains two pilots, as you can see, and there's a nice ladder here. Let's look at what buttons are available. So to do that, we need to go to the cockpit view, because you can see all the gouges here, right? So all the gouges are pretty clear. This one probably requires still some attention, but all the other ones are really clear, really high definition. Several buttons are working, including the magneto, but also the parking brakes. So all kind of cool things. Here's the radio. It looks like that there are some buttons, but they're not, say, working as we speak. Then we've got the throttle here, the steering wheel. So it looks really, really cool. So let's see if we can take off with the helicopter. The question always is, does it work? So what you need to make sure, if I would say you're using the controls and they don't work, is make sure that it's loaded the correct profile. In some cases I've seen that Airland FS doesn't load the profile correctly, and in that case that could clarify a lot of things. So let's do it the other way then. Not sure if it works. It doesn't look like to. Let me see if I need to restart Airland FS. In some cases that fixes the issue. So be aware of that. If it doesn't work for you, then restart Airland FS. In most cases it fixes the issue, not in all cases. Looks like throttling doesn't react at all in our case. That's too bad. I was really enthusiastic about this aircraft. So what do we need to do now? Well, let me try one thing. So I will pause the video shortly and then we'll continue recording. So give me a minute, because I probably need to reset my joystick. So I just reconnected my joysticks. I'm not sure what's going on, but there's some weird things going on with the joysticks lately. So let's start the engines. Can do that with the control and the E key. And let's see if we can go airborne. Be very careful with throttling. And we're airborne already, right? So that's, you can see how easy it is. So here we are. I can see it looks really nice, right? Also in the air, it looks really great. Just gonna make a tour. Also from this point of view, it looks really cool. Just to trim a bit. So let's see if we can go inside. If we look closely to the left side, we can see the pilot is taking control. There are some other control options or camera options, right? You can look to the right, to the left, as you can see, and you can of course look to the multiple documents or instruments, sorry. But I would say those things are requiring a little bit of time. Also, it looks like the aircraft is pretty sensitive because it crashes. So let's give it another try. I'm not sure what we didn't overstress the aircraft too much, but this is another thing which you need to keep in mind, that for some reason, if you start, it looks, I would say it's yeah, moving a little bit to the left, but as soon as you click ready to fly, it resets itself. So keep that in mind. If you did reset the simulator, in some cases you also need to reset